I also think about each of us in this room. We have really three variables we get to play with as it pertains to building this bigger world, right? You've got your time. We all have time. You, Mike, have time to create a bigger world. You have capital to create a bigger world. And you have influence. Time, capital, and influence. Those are all variables that we have as it pertains to building more businesses or building a bigger world. Early in our careers, frankly, all we have is time, right? Like if you go back early in your career, you probably didn't have any capital. You didn't really have any relationships. So what did you have? Time, which is what did you do? You worked your ass off. And then over the course of time, while you're working your ass off, you create, hopefully, some income, which would be then capital. So now I have time and I have capital. I could deploy that capital or I could keep using my time. And then as things progress, you end up with relationships, with influence. So when I think about like how, when we're trying to expand our world, I would ask, how do I go about doing that? Do I have to leverage some of my time to do that? Do I have to leverage some of my capital to do that? Or can I simply leverage my influence? Cassie, I hope you don't mind me bringing this up as an example. I don't think you do. So Cassie spent a decade running all the operations of our real estate teams. And then at some point, it was okay. She kind of hit the ceiling of that and we had to go build something else. Now I was capped in terms of time. I was not going to go spend time on things, but I did have capital and I did have some relationships, right? I had influence. And so Cassie's next opportunity in terms of me expanding the world was, let's go build property management. She has the time and I had the capital and we had the influence. Does that make sense? Now to go to what Ben was saying, when we dove into that, as Cassie would tell you, we shared in the income derived from that company. But the equity that Cassie, who is now my absolute 50-50 partner in that, the equity did not start at that range. When she hit certain metrics with that company and as it grew, she became a full-fledged equity partner. She was a partner in income, but the equity was earned very quickly because she knocked it out of the park, earned through performance like Ben was saying. And at some point in that business, while we're equal equity partners today, my hope is that I'm a lesser partner and she continues to take more as we continue to grow. Does that make sense? So again, I always like to think in terms of what can I leverage? My time, my capital, or my influence. And for some businesses, you'll start some things today, guys, where it's your time, but you got to be passionate about it. Or it's just your capital or it's just your influence. Where I see struggle sometimes is when you're misaligned. Like, shit, I didn't want to put in my time. I just wanted to put in my capital. You know what I'm saying? We got to get clear on that. So anyhow, just a way to think about it.